Hey everybody, Shaq right here today. I'm going to show you how to change the oil on a 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. You'll need a few tools. I'm going to go through those with you really quick and then we'll get started. First thing you're going to need is a 17mm socket I got here. Also, to go with that, you're going to need the socket wrench. You're also going to need a Fram oil filter. I chose Fram. If you choose Fram, it's going to be the PH7317. And then you're also going to need 4 to 5 quarts of any type of 0W-20 full synthetic mobile oil. I got Valvoline. It was just cheapest at the time. Other thing you're going to need is a oil drip pan, which I already have underneath the car here, ready to drain the oil once I get the plug, as you can see right there. You're going to need a jack and jack stands. The jacks to hold the car up in case it falls. You don't want it to fall, and it'll just be easier for you to get underneath there and pull that plug out from underneath the car, and it'll also help drain the oil easily. So we're gonna get under here. Oh, I'm gonna have to get my socket and socket wrench. Unlike the spark plugs in this vehicle, it's the standard screw plug. So when we get under here, make sure your sockets is set to lefty loosey. The plug is underneath here, the passenger car. You can see the oil plug right there, and then here's the filter right underneath. It's right next to the passenger front tire. You can't really miss it. So I get under here, and then okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to unplug this here. You're going to unscrew this. You couldn't just let it fall into the drip pan, because you're going to have to wait for the oil to drip anyway, and it won't go into the bottom of the drip pan. It'll stay on top. So there we go, just like that, and we're draining oil. I'll be back once we're done draining. So as you can see now, it's done draining out of the oil pan. And as you can see, I loosened up the oil filter as it started to drip. Okay, and what you're going to need for that is an oil filter wrench. You can get it at AutoZone, Walmart. Depends on what type of, how big your filter is, depending on which one you need. For this one, it's a 65mm top, so anything that is compatible with that will come out. So I'm going to take this out and let the rest of the oil drip out of there, and then we'll start putting everything back together. Be right back. Okay, now that everything is done draining, I got underneath here and I cleaned. You want to get all the old oil that you can out of there, so that when you put this new filter on, it's got a rubber seal right here. Here's the rubber seal right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's the black there. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of new oil here, and you're going to use your finger to go around so that you get a good seal into the oil filter to the pan. So I'm going to do that. You're just going to hand tighten it as tight as you can, because it's going to seal and it won't leak. So I'll be back when I'm done with that. And there we are with this tightened back up. And that's why I use the Fram, because it's got it's like sandpaper here on the end of it, and so you can get it nice and tight with your hand and not get it stuck. You don't have to use the oil wrench to tighten it up. Also, with the new, I bought a new drain plug bolt because it comes with a washer. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hand tighten the washer and then use your socket wrench to tighten it up as much as you can with the wrench, and then give it one more quarter turn, and you'll feel that washer tighten up once it's tight, and then you give that quarter turn and it'll, let me see if this is the right way. There we go. So you get it tight and then a quarter turn. You don't want to strip the bolt. There you go. And now you're ready to put oil back into the engine. Be right back up top. Okay, we're back up top. I dropped the vehicle back so that it's level while we're filling it up with oil. This here's the oil dipstick. It'll tell you how much oil you have in the car so that you don't overfill it or underfill it. This here is where you put the oil in. So we're going to unscrew this. Set the cap over here. I got a filter here, but it's a very small, so it's a very small opening there, so it sticks out. So you're going to want to hold the oil with one hand and then fill it with the other. So I'm going to start filling this up, and I'm going to use both hands, so I'll come back and we'll check the dipstick to see if it's full or not. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so far I put 4 quarts of, like I said, the 0W-20 full synthetic motor oil. And then this is the dipstick. I'm going to pull it out and see what we have as far as whether we need more oil or not. So you pull this out, it's like a plug, so you pull it out, take some paper towel, and you're gonna wipe the end of the stick all the way as you pull it out. Okay, so then on this end of the stick here, you got these 2 little holes, and that's where you want the oil to be, in between those 2 holes. So if you're way down by the bottom hole, you're going to add a little bit. If you're at the top, you're going to leave it alone. If you're in the middle, you leave it alone. The hole's kind of hard to see, so let's see if I can find it here. It's way deep. Okay, so you hear it going down. Now to get the, you want to make sure you plug it. See, I missed it again. Plus I got a camera in my hand. There we go. You see how that plugs in there? And then when you pull it out, I'm going to set this here. So this might be a little messy because I usually control it, but I'm going to pull it out and see if you can see. I'm right above the first hole. I don't know if you can see the oil on there or not, but it's right in the middle. So what I might do is I'll start it up, let it run, and then put maybe another quarter of a quart in. But once you get the amount of oil that you want in, you take the filter out and you screw this back in and you're good to go. So It's not that tough of a job. Definitely cheaper than going to an oil store. Some key points is, again, I would advise you to get another drain oil plug bolt because of that washer. That's what seals it, so that you don't over tighten it, or you don't, because I had a real hard time getting that bolt off. I had to use a 6-pound hammer. I know in the past I've stripped the head, and I've also stripped the bolt trying to put it in, because it's at an angle. It's not straight up and down. It's at like a 45-degree angle when you're in there, so you got to be careful. And then also make sure you put the fresh oil on the seal of the oil filter, because that's what seals it to the vehicle, and you want to make sure that's clean before you do that, so that there's not any particles that keep it from making a good seal to the vehicle. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you click on like, click on subscribe, and then click on that little bell so that you get alerted when I put up new videos. Next project is going to be the spark plugs, and have a good day. Thank you.